These are the G.I. Joe classified series, Stuart, Outback, Selkirk, and Courtney, Covergirl, Krieger. Oh my goodness. So excited to have these two figures. These were the only ones I was eyeing in this way. Well, I did eye Falcon, but seeing that the reviews of that head sculpt, man, it was an ugly head sculpt. I decided to sell off that figure immediately after I purchased it off to my good buddy John. But I did pick up both of these figures, including Falcon, from Hobby Corner. Both figures have fantastic box art, and look at that. This one looks like a painting, actually, some oil pastel painting, and then this one looks like a cartoon, some artwork from a cartoon. Let's get both of these guys out of packaging. And here are both Outback and Covergirl out of the box. Boy, both these figures look absolutely amazing. I say that to a lot of figures, but these figures are really great. Coupled with the fact that I have some emotional investment with these figures. I love these figures. When I was a kid, I never got a Covergirl. Now I got Outback once again. They've got great details. They've got fantastic, cool accessories. The sculpts are amazing. Let's take a closer look at the details of both these figures. Head to toe, Outback stands at about 16.5 centimeters tall, or about 6.5 inches tall, while Covergirl stands at about 15.5 centimeters tall, or about 6 1/8 inches tall. So let's start the discussion with Covergirl. Oh my goodness, she looks absolutely fantastic. I love this sculpt. She does reuse some parts from Lady J. That's a shame. I wish they could have given her some new pants, new legs, but it's okay. That's how Hasbro is. If I'm not mistaken, the original Covergirl back in the 80s, the old 3.75 inch figure, she came with a vehicle, a tank, a G.I. Joe tank, that instead of a cannon or a barrel, it had like 2 rocket launchers. Not sure what it was called. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was called the Wolverine. So tell me in the comment section what it was. But I remember the only way you could get her was through that vehicle. And I'm actually surprised they're doing the vehicle driver characters now as a single packed figure, just like Copperhead. Copperhead was supposed to be with the water moccasin, but now they're doing him standalone. So I'm guessing they're having trouble with vehicles. Unless it's a HasLab project or whatnot, or a small vehicle. So only time will tell when we actually get these mid-sized to large vehicles from the classified series. But this figure in hand looks fantastic. I've been getting some reports and some reviews were saying that the head sculpt was a little wonky. It was too sharp. I like it, actually. I love the way they painted the eyes, the lipstick, the hair sculpt. I'm actually pretty okay with this head sculpt. I do like it. I was thinking of replacing it with one of the Star Wars figures, but it's actually pretty good. She's got a jacket, a bomber jacket, I should say. She's got a pistol belt, and on the pistol belt, she's got her wrench. And this wrench, I believe, or spanner, is supposed to be for fixing stuff on the Wolverine. She's got a pistol that can fit on her holster. And then she's got the specs of that tank, that Wolverine tank, on her. Is this an iPad, or is this a tablet or a cell phone? It kind of feels like it's like an oversized cell phone or a small tablet. She can hold it, but not really that well. That was pretty nice. It's a nice hint that maybe, who knows, they might reissue this figure together with that tank, so that's great. So everything's very nice. It's done very well. Paint apps are actually pretty cool. Articulation for this figure: ball jointed neck up top, ball jointed neck at the bottom, ball jointed upper torso, ball jointed waist. She's got some butterfly hinges right here on the shoulders. The shoulders can go in and out, forward and backward 360. She's got a bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows. Wrists, they go in and out and swivel. This one goes up and down. Hips are on drop down ball joints. You do the splits forward and backward. You get the thigh swivel, double jointed pinless knee joints, calf swivel. Ankles can hinge up and down and have the rocker tilt. She's got great accessories. She's got this full-on 12-gauge shotgun, and I kind of wish they gave her a semi-automatic weapon, but I guess this was how she was back in the 80s, so they just decided to do the same thing for the classified series. So other than that, I thought this was a pretty perfect figure. Not too much complaints on it. I'm surprised because I was expecting I was going to get some quality issues with the head sculpt. I was going to hate it and all that, but it turns out I actually like it. On to Outback. Now this is my favorite out of the two, and lots of childhood memories with Outback. Okay, now he's got a ton of gear. He's got this semi-automatic weapon, which I remember it looks so much like what he had back in the 80s. And I remember when I was a kid, I had to cut off the straps. I snipped the straps off because I couldn't put it into his hand. But now I'm not doing that. It's a great sculpt. You can remove the clip. But yeah, I love that they gave him this and not like a Nerf gun. He's got a pistol right here with a laser targeting scope, I think. That's nice. And then he's got a flashlight. Is this a flashlight? Survival gear flashlight. And then he's got a hunting knife, which is pretty cool. You just store it on his boot sheath. He's got a backpack. He's got some strap. This strap is just so characteristic of Outback. I loved it because back in the old figure, I think you just clip the strap onto the backpack and you could strap on the backpack without pegging it in, which was actually pretty cool. However, on this new figure, you've got a very thin peg, and on mine you can already see some stress marks happening because I tried to plug it in and it just bent, and that's a shame. I kind of wish they would go back to those thick pegs, which just plug it into the middle of the back, but this one is annoying. It's very tough to put it in without really bending that plastic, and over time I think that thing's going to just shear off because it's a very soft kind of plastic that they use for that peg, which sucks. I don't know how they're going to improve that, but it's a nice looking backpack. It's a shame because it's really well sculpted. He's got a shovel, of course, for survival. You need a shovel. And then if you wanted to, you can actually plug the gun on his backpack. You can store it right there. So that's pretty cool. Okay, if you already have the Tiger Force Outback, this is going to look very familiar. And I'm kind of glad I skipped out on the Tiger Force because this one, I believe, is a better figure. This is closer to the original release back in the 80s. I'm not sure if they had a Tiger Force Outback back in the 80s. Somebody let me know. I'm not aware of it. I knew there was only one version of Outback, but this was my Outback when I was growing up as a kid. I love this head sculpt. Kind of feels like it's a rugged Chuck Norris. Yeah, very cool. Love the way it's been painted, sculpting on the beard. He got survival on his t-shirt, characteristic of how he was back in the 80s. I'm pretty sure some of the pieces have been recycled, the boots, the thighs and all that, arms, but yeah, it's all right. For articulation's got a ball jointed neck up here, ball jointed base of the neck. It's got an ab crunch that ratchets. It's got a ball jointed waist, and then some butterfly joints right here in the shoulders. Shoulders can go in and out. You go forward and backward 360. You got a bicep swivel. It's a shame they used cream instead of an ivory white paint to paint that to match the shirt, but it's okay. Pinless double jointed elbows. He's got wrist swivels, and they both go in. This one goes up and down. This one goes in and out. Yeah, this one goes up and down. The hips are on drop down ball joints. You can do the splits, forward and backward thigh swivel. You got double jointed pinless knee joints, calf swivel, ankles can go up and down, and have the rocker tilt. Some final thoughts on these classified series, Outback and Covergirl. I think they're pretty good figures. This is one of those times where I'm really glad I did not quit a toy line just yet, because this classified series just keeps dishing out some amazing figures. Now, despite being excellent figures, if you're the casual G.I. Joe classified series collector, do you need these figures? I'm going to say no. I think the only reason you would purchase these figures if you have some emotional investment in the figures, in the characters, if you know these characters from your childhood, yeah, sure, definitely. I think you should go ahead and pick them up, pay full price for them. But if you're the casual collector, you're cherry picking through the line, I don't think these figures are a priority. If you can get them below Retail price, sure. If you can get them on clearance, sure. But I wouldn't go and rush out and hunt these figures down if you're the casual collector. Now, if you're someone like me who really grew up with G.I. Joe and who really has some investment in these characters, then, you know, it's an absolute must-have. These are great figures. You're not going to regret getting them. Both figures are near perfect in my opinion. Outback is amazing, fantastic details. My only gripe with this figure is that peg on his backpack. It's not how it used to be. I kind of wish they'd gone back to those center pegs, those thick pegs right there in the middle of the backpack, and shove them the back of the figures. But those very thin pegs, they're very soft. I think they're prone to stress marks and breaking. Not a big fan of that. Covergirl, I think it's a great figure. Probably the only thing missing is that rocket launcher tank. That's the only thing I think we need right now for her. I think it's a great figure. Both figures, from a technical standpoint, they should get a 9.5 out of 10. But because of my investment, my emotional investment in these figures, I'm going to go ahead and give them a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of these G.I. Joe classified series, Outback and Covergirl. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.